Hey everybody. I hope everybody is okay. I'm just gonna wait a little bit until the room fills up some more before we start talking so no one will miss anything. Thomas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was just trying to send out my alert too now that I got everything set up over here.
All right, well, no problem. Take your time, take your time. It is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. Thank you everybody for tuning in with me and Timeless. Let me let me see what's going on. Hello, hey, old man with the dog. What's up, Cap? Hey, Big Rob, nice to see you. I hope everybody's doing okay. Let me see. Let me invite a few of you to speak. Does anybody? Yeah, somebody come on the mic with me. Let me see. Hey, there we go. Trophy, thank you for the retweet. I appreciate you so much.
Yo, 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 what up?
Hey, what's up, Cap? What you up to?
Oh, chilling, watching this live stream, seeing what's unfolding downtown.
Ah,
How about you?
well,
At least you're watching it at home and not
Right?
down there.
right. Yeah, we're actually happy that you are home, safe and sound, and inside the house. Um, I was just going over some news, actually, Cap. That's what I was doing. Hey, what's up, old man with the dog? How are you?
Good evening, ladies and everyone else. How are you all doing this evening?
Good. How are you, old man with the
Doing
dog?
okay.
I'm living this dream.
Oh man.
Uh, Timeless, I would like to, if I could, at some point in time, talk with you in regards with some of the product, uh, the elderberry syrup in specific. Maybe sometime we can DM after this is over with, or maybe tomorrow, if possible.
Absolutely. Just shoot me a DM, and as soon as I'm sitting down and everything, I'll respond right back to you.
Ma'am, that would be wonderful. I do appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
No problem. Thank you.
So just going around checking out some news the past week that was happening. One case that actually caught my eye was of Aaron Daniel Mata. He was actually charged with felony charges after stealing $575,000 worth of crypto from an elderly victim. He was installing a security system inside the victim's home and managed to steal their treasure, and I guess their code. Um, and I don't know. Now it leads me to believe, should I actually, because I don't actually keep my cold wallet connected. When I'm done with it, I put it back in the little box with this little, because when they give you when I got my ledger, they give you like these cards to write down your security key on it. So of course, it's in the box with my ledger. But that kind of leads me to ask myself the question: should I actually be storing my key card with my ledger? Because, like I said, it's not something that's hooked up. When I'm done with it, I put it back in the box with everything it came with, and I just kind of lock it away. But obviously, this gentleman found that, and I'm just thinking, what if he found her treasure wallet and not her, I guess, her card to get into it? I don't know if treasure is the same way, but I'm kind of feeling like it is. Um, just kind of find it weird that it was. I don't know. I guess because everything was put away together. So I'm trying to figure out, should I keep my key card in another area and not with my ledger? But
Yes.
right, right, because
Definitely. I
yeah,
mean, I know you're super safe with everything, but you never know if you have to leave in an emergency or something like that. And anybody could come in, repairs, firefighters, police, you never know. And not everybody has a good code of ethic.
Right. Even though mine is locked up somewhere, safe, like behind, like under a floorboard or something like that. That's where mine is. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe this person had it like in their dresser drawer, or I don't know, on a shelf.
Typically, when you deal with seniors, they don't like to put things away, just in general. And so it was probably next to their computer with all their little devices, with how their how to's are and things like that, and all their passwords. So the likelihood of it being put up is probably very slim.
Right, right. Old man with the dog, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
What I was going to throw my 2 cents in with is have a couple copies of it now, and I'm not exactly saying store them together, your seed phrase card with your ledger, but still have a couple of copies of it, and in a couple of different locations, a couple of different little safes that you may have, or if you've got a box at the bank or whatever. Even though I don't trust that, I don't trust safety deposit boxes, but that that was just my 2 cents, because we have to break our habits of trying to make things easier for us and not thinking we're making it easier for the criminals.
Right, right. Yeah. So I do have it. Actually, I do have lots of copies of it stored in different places. But the ledger is, I haven't been using it that much. I think I only have one or two projects on there, and it's not a lot. But I thought that was interesting. So that's something to think about, because I was, like I said, I was wondering, well, how did he get her key? Her key, and it must have, or his key. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they must have stored their key, like I said, with their treasure wallet. Um, yeah, I thought it was also interesting. Speaking of security and things of that sort, Binance wants your biometrics when you access their accounts now, and I know that made a lot of people upset.
They can go
Um,
straight to hell with that one. They want access to everything, sis. They want access to everything. If you're on your phone, they wanted you to grant them access to your contact list. They wanted to be able to take and store your biometrics. They wanted to track how you use other apps across your whole phone. That's not even finance related. I read that whole thing from top to bottom 3 times. That is a security nightmare to me. Well, privacy nightmare, should I say.
yeah, because biometrics are unique physical characteristics of you that no one else has. Such as your fingerprints and facial recognition and facial scans. So I'm trying to figure out what does by maybe that's a nice level of security, depending on if they're only going to use it for their site. And we already know that these companies share information like that. So I don't feel like that's necessary for me to sign in and get my crypto.
Yeah, they didn't. They did not say it was just specifically for their own use, and a lot of different crypto companies and projects. Recently, there was I I can't even remember the project, but they were paying people to incentivize them to come scan their retinas for like $100 in Bitcoin or something like that. So while we're moving into more of augmented reality, all this AI stuff, and all everything in the VR realm and everything else. I think it's really dangerous to start giving away our aspects of our person. And when that came up, as soon as it came out, I personally, in all transparency, will not be touching Binance again. I'm forfeiting the very, very little thing that I had on there. Not a big deal. I think it's probably right now about $30. I don't care, and I don't care if it pumps. I'm going to rebuy that someplace else and move it off. That was just the last thing I had it moved off, because because Ovi and I had this conversation a long time ago to take everything off the exchange, but I am forfeiting that because not only was it those biometrics, in order to keep your account, they wanted an update of your ID, which I get it, that's a KYC, but then they wanted you to do a still picture. They wanted you to do a certain length in video, and there was another requirement. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I think all that is super dangerous for our own privacy. Like, we should be able to keep um, something about ourselves, and most of these apps you can say, hey, don't track me. I know on iPhone says do not track my usage across my phone or this app. And granted, I know a lot of these things are still doing some tracking in the background, but for you to come straight out and say, hey, we're going to take this, and this. Oh, and the other thing was you were giving them access to look up your public record files, access your information from the credit bureaus. They track your banking and through who you bank with. And so there was a lot of things in there that's extremely dangerous for me.
Right. And, that's why I kind of feel bad for anybody who left their crypto on Binance and want to get to it, because I took everything off of Binance a while ago. And I've kind of learned that from, doing that, making those mistakes before when I first got in a few years ago, into crypto. It's like sometimes you take like a short break and you come back and you find out the exchange changed their rules and you have to go through hoops to actually get it off. And because I live in a state where um, I can barely go on any exchanges as it is, when I do my business, I usually take my money off right away. I don't leave my money on an exchange. I know some people like to because they're saying they're going to sell it, but nah, I've had crypto stolen off an exchange. I've had myself locked out of an exchange because they changed their restrictions, and I knew if I met them, I wouldn't be able to get the money anyway, so I took a loss. So yeah. Old man with the
Yeah.
dog. Oh no, I'm
And
sorry. Go ahead, sis.
no, that's fine. It's just a little bit. In all fairness, I only left like 500 bet on there just to compare how much BTHOR I was making off of there compared to someplace else. So it wasn't a whole lot. I mean, 500 is 500. So yeah, there wasn't a whole lot on there, but yeah, it was on there, and I'm leaving it there. Go ahead, old man with the dog. My bad.
No, no, no. I don't mind waiting. My question with this: are you talking about Binance OG or Binance US or the Binance app that you can put on your phone?
Binance US. It's all across the board on Binance US. They said this was going to be a way that they were going to, what was it? They said this is a way for them to start staying compliant to regulations before regulations are instilled. But regulations does not mean you need to track me every step I make from banking to, and you don't need to know what I'm paying for my mortgage or my house or my car payment. And for people, what if people are late on their stuff? What if they're not? What if they have more personal assets? So it is across all of Binance US. No, not the regular Binance though.
Thank you. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty yeah, we were in the group, somebody brought it up. My husband opened it up and was like, I'm looking at it now. I was on a call with OV and I was like, oh. And then I started reading it. I was like, oh, absolutely not. They can have my 500 bet.
She said she's not logging in at all.
You ain't getting a hostage letter from me. You're not getting, I mean, I did that one time, but that was to Celsius for me to, for some reason, the password that I know was right when I locked in my HODL mode on Celsius, it wasn't unlocking it. And so I had to send in a small video of me holding a piece of paper. It had the day's date and something else. And I didn't like doing it then. I mean, I drug my foot feet on that for a while too. But at the end of the day, I wanted to get into that, and it wasn't about me allowing them access. It was them knowing that wasn't somebody that compromised my account and was pretending to be me. Oh, and Celsius is a whole nother story too. But I seen OSU Buck came up, and you have something for us?
Hey, everybody. This is Yvonne. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
Good. How are
Yvonne, what's up?
you?
Good, good. Timeless. I was wondering because everybody in the world knows that my money has been stuck on Binance and it's going to be for the next 10 days, and I've been trying to get it off. So, does that mean me from Binance US that I've already, since I've signed in, I've agreed to these terms already? And how would I get my money off if you're under that 10-day lock? Doesn't it have to stay there before I can take it to my MetaMask?
Yep, it has to stay there. It's for that 10 days. These exchanges, when they put a lockup period on it, they are very stringent on that. I don't know if you accepted it. If it popped up and you accepted it, did you send them in a video? Or well, actually, I don't think I think there's a few more days. I have to go back and look. There was a deadline by having that stuff in, so I'll try to look that up again, see if I can find it right off the top of my hand. But yeah, I would definitely look at that. And I always, I tell people all the time, read the fine print. People just are ready to get onto these exchanges and all these, in anything in your life. Sometimes it behooves you to take that 15, 20 minutes to read through the fine print, because sometimes you're giving them a lot of access to you.
Absolutely, because I didn't see anything pop up or anything different happen, and it still let me sign in without any other notice. So yeah, I need to look. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with that. And then while we're also talking about this, I meant to have what I wrote down in front of me, but I don't see it. But Celsius, as of Friday, if you move coins on there after Friday for the Earn program, everybody in the United States will just be held in an investment wallet type rather than an Earn. You won't be able to earn on Celsius anymore on after Friday, and it's very unclear. They said if you've already are in an earn program on Celsius, and if you don't move it, you can still earn. Another way of trying to stay on code with the U.S. with regulations. Um, while OV is talking, I'm going to try to find where I have all my notes on that written up, because I think that's a real slap in the face also.
Yeah, just gonna refresh the room. Yeah, Yvonne, you can finish talking. I'm just gonna refresh the room real quick. I'm not cutting you off. Hey everybody. If anybody wants to speak, of course, you can just request to join in the conversation. It's an open conversation. We don't, we like people to talk to us. So just wanted to say that. Yvonne, did you have any more questions? Go ahead.
No, I didn't have any more questions about the Binance, but I've been trying to just do my homework on some things, and I did have a node question. And I was actually went back and listened to the AMAs on Strong Block, and somebody asked a question about decay rate on nodes, and I couldn't really, I didn't. Could you explain that to me? What the decay? I'm sure it's like when the project is coming to the end, I imagine, but could you tell me about a decay rate?
I know actually with the decay nodes, Polygon is a node that I started.
No,
The le-
decay rate, the decay rate.
Oh, the decay rate. Well, the decay rate. I'm not sure about the decay rate. I just know like the time frame. It seems like I know for the Polygon they start to decay after 80 days. So I haven't looked much into the decay rate. Thomas, you know anything about the decay rate? I haven't seen much of that. I haven't seen like a table of like
No,
at the rate they decay. I don't think
yeah,
I've seen that.
I don't think that they've released that. I think what it was like with the Polygon, I want to say it was like 150. 15 days, the polygon node like decays down to what a normal ETH do, does. But I think that they told us, I'm pretty sure they told us to stay tuned on the actual rate, and that they guaranteed though it wouldn't decay down to nothing, and that they would let us know furthermore. I tried to look into it. I didn't get any clarifying answers, but I do know what I did see was it would decay to a certain point, and as far as I know, it will decay down to what an ETH node does.
Yeah, but they haven't actually released the table yet. That's what everybody's asking. It's not anything released. I think a lot of what we're seeing, what people are assuming, is speculation. They haven't released, the rates yet. I guess hopefully that'll come soon. I'm not sure when.
That's supposed to be the next stage when they said, hey, we've done this, this, and this, and our next thing is our entangle and our tangled nodes, and I believe all that will be added into that update.
So, Timeless, are you saying that the Polygon node is just worth more and it decays down to the ETH node? Is that what you're saying when you're talking about decaying? Because I'm just unsure.
Okay, so with the Polygon node, for stronger now, you get, so back for a while there, I do believe some are for sale again. I'm not sure. So it's essentially an ETH node with a bronze NFT attached to it that gave it a boost. So that boost is, I forget what it is. I have my ETH and I have my Polygon. I do know that my Poly one is earning faster than my ETH, but after a certain, like, I think it's like 110, 111 days, something around there, then it starts decaying in its rewards to not being as quick, if that makes sense.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what
Hey,
I was trying. Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you before, Yvonne. I'm actually gaining stronger faster with the Polygon node, but the decay is going to be quicker. And I was reading some people have said 80 after 80 days it starts to slowly decay. So after 80 days of having a Polygon node, it starts to slowly decay. I've been seeing that. But as far as anything else, they haven't actually released an actual table yet of how it's going to decay and the prices and the rates.
okay, thank you for that. Yeah, that clears up a lot.
I did want to also bring up, I was watching this interview and I read a few articles today because I know that we're all kind of watching the inflation and everything that is going on, especially in the US. I know it's going on around the world, but the US has been on a hell path with inflation. And the people being interviewed in the article that came out after made some valid points in saying that this isn't full inflation, but it's truly a devaluation of currency across the board and around the world. And saying currency devaluation is it directly impacts the consumer purchasing power. So while we see it, a lot of it as inflation, we are seeing a greater inflation rate. But while we're seeing a greater inflation rate, we are also seeing a devaluation of currency around the world too. And while different politicians are trying to blame it on other things, we also have to take into account now that we're in digital assets. Before, they used to say it was a 60-40 split of like stocks, and then the 60 of the stocks, 40 to bonds. But they were trying to make it a point to say that no young person should ever be in bonds anymore. And most young people don't even know what bonds are. And they said the only people really doing bonds are between like 60 and 70 because they can access that money sooner. And this is what they've been told to do. And then they also had done a poll where under 40 asked people that are in the age of under 40 what a broker is, and they'll be thinking like Robinhood, these exchanges. But then you ask people over 40 what's DeFi, and you get the same type of result. We don't know what that is. So as we are shifting into digital assets, we need to start training our brain to do more of that learn one, teach one, because while bonds aren't there anymore, the only people truly holding bonds right now are the central banks. Then when the central banks hit a certain point, what they're going to do, because they just keep printing money to get these bonds, and the result is going to be they're going to clash at one point, and then the money devaluation is going to happen even more, and it's going to be trying to do a reset. When that reset happens, that will lead the U.S. dollar to be less valuable as it is right now, even in the state of inflation. So while we're looking at projects and we're setting ourselves up, I believe we should truly be looking at our crypto as our new 401k and moving accordingly within that aspect too.
Right. That's why, at this point, it's really about, for me, in my portfolio, it's really about investing in projects that I believe have a future, like DAG, XDC, especially the financial coins on that end. Definitely, because finance is always going to be around. Now, I have some other projects, of course, that have nothing to do with finance, but I also believe in those too. But definitely looking for projects that are going to require 10 years to deliver what they have promised. And I think that's what a lot of people get misconstrued about cryptocurrency. This is for longevity. It's not for the moment. This is not like gambling in Las Vegas. So a lot of investors are impatient, but when you're getting into projects, you should actually be looking for the long term and also taking profit, but looking for the long term, in my opinion.
Right. And then another thing I think that we get stuck on is the price. And I think a lot of people aren't looking at price versus value. So when you are researching a project and what they're able to do from either security, a privacy, a hold of value, I think I know it's hard because we've been trained to look at price and price to give it its value, but both those things are completely two separate entities. And when we start training our brain that price isn't value and value isn't price, that while the price of something in fiat might be low, what is the actual value conversion to what you're looking at and how you're wanting to move around in your investment? So if we're looking, just for instance, I don't know how many of you guys have ever had a 401k and if you just let it autopilot for you, or if you really went in and looked, your employer versus your investment broker, they were putting your funds within a big fund that had like 15 to 40 different things that your money strategically went around. So that's the diversification also.
Right. Just gonna go back to just for a second. Yvonne, I posted in the space. There's a tweet that says the assumed Polygon nodes decay across 8 months based on current rewards. Now remember, this table is dated in January. So as we know, strong or stronger right now is not the price of what it was in January. So this is all based on assumptions. So just so you can get an idea for yourself, I just posted it in the space so you can see it. So that's just for you.
Okay, thank you for that.
Anytime.
And also, with Timeless, when she talks about the 401k, that's exactly how I'm looking at, coming into crypto, that this would be my retirement fund, because mine went out the window. But when I worked for a company, they used to put into the 401k and matched for every dollar we put in, they would put in. And of course, that was great at the time. And then they just kept going to from $1 to 50 cents to and nothing with a lot of that. So, for me as I'm older, it's like it's hard to get that value out. And so that's exactly why I'm looking at crypto. So some of these things is, yes, great short term, but then really the real play for me is going to be, what's going to happen in 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it's important. It's important in this space. It's important in life because what we have to look at is, so if nobody knew, in 1913 the Fed was created. The Fed was created in 1930 to make bankers rich. So when you look at when all these things start happening, COVID happens, all these different things start happening, what did the Fed do, the Federal Reserve do? They started printing money. What is the first thing that they start bailing out? It's the banks. So the Federal Reserve is there to make bankers rich. That was their intended purpose back when they started in 1913. So as we watch and go back, and if you're not a history buff, you don't need to be, but going back, because things reappear in different ways at different times. And while they don't seem like they're exactly the same, you have to take in the time that we're in. Okay, back here, they said this, this, and this, and they did this, but there was no computers in everybody's houses. People didn't have cell phones. So as the change of times happening, you have to kind of look at it and put it into perspective where we are now. So I think we all get really hyped on crypto and we all want to make money, and that is the idea. But what we truly need to do is, hey, what if Social Security isn't around for the people in their 20s and 30s that are 20s and or in their 20s and 30s right now? When they go to retire, what if that's not there? Then what happens? So now it's starting to set the way you want to invest, because I see a lot of people degenning and wanting to do this and hype on this and hype on that. While that's fun and while that's great and you can make a lot of money there, I think our backbone of our portfolio should truly be diversified in a way that can build to create financial stability later.
Right. Just adding on to what you were saying, Thomas, the Social Security Administration was founded in 1935 by Franklin D. Roosevelt. And all this stuff was like a part of his New Deal, so, but I'm not in my 20s, but I do remember at one point they were saying that 401k was basically invented for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons was that Social Security was not going to be available for us when we got a certain age, because there's a lot of people who are actually benefiting and getting money from Social Security, and they haven't worked long enough. They haven't put into it. So, so that's why I also am looking at my crypto as my 401 play. As my retirement plan, as my extra 401k, because I don't trust that Social Security will be here when I retire. Quintessential, you asked to speak. And WQZ. So quintessential. No, okay, quintessential. I guess that was a faux part. WQZ, I'll let you go ahead. What's up, honey?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Oh,
Doing all right. How are you?
Good, how are
good.
you?
Oh, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
WQZ.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
now I
Like I said, I
can.
just really love the space and the information that you ladies impart, so that we can learn about what's going on. I know myself, I need to get and do more research as well. Like I always say, and do your own research. So that's my goal, to do that as well. And also with the 401, my mine's a 403B, and the job I've been with is been there for 10 years, and the money that they will give me, because you get vested after 5 years, is gonna, if I stay for a few more years, it's gonna be like, I think it's like $100 a month, which is piddly. um but it's important to have multiple incomes, because you can't make it on what you have going now, the way things are going, especially with Social Security. And like I said, it may not be here when we get to that age. I got about another 13 years, but it still may not be there when I get to my 65 retirement. So got to have that multiple income.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I focus on. That's my main focus, is just having various streams of income. So if that's just, I mean, because who doesn't like more money, and who doesn't like extra money? I mean,
Yeah.
So that's exactly why I'm doing this and doing other things, just to have a comfortable retirement, because there's so many people who are around who have worked all their life and they're still not comfortable after they retire. They still can't make ends meet, and I don't want to be that person.
Yeah. Right. Me either. Thank you.
No problem. Quintessential, you ready for us now? What's up?
Yeah. You hear me?
I can hear
Hello?
you.
Sure can. Yep.
Family, how y'all doing today?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I was so glad that I tuned in because I heard Timeless bring up Celsius, and I have a few funds of Celsius. So I wanted to know about, should I have until Friday to move it? Timeless?
Well, the thing is it's not about having to move it. It looks like unless you keep your coins where they're at right now, that you can still earn on them. If you move them or you add on to them, then and you're not an accredited investor on their site, then it will move it into a normal hold wallet. Me personally, I'm going to keep it there right now. I'm looking into Freeway Finance. They have a pretty good platform from what I'm seeing. They do offer a pretty high percentage in return for, I definitely seen the stable coins. I just have to look and see what they're offering. So if I read the announcement from Celsius correctly, it was as long as you don't add to it, you don't move it, you don't do anything to it, at this point you will still earn. Do I think it's going to stay that way? Absolutely not, because they were very particular with what they were saying, with being on code, with politicians and the regulatory services within the United States. And it's only in fact affecting the United States. So yeah, I'm going to go try to find that article again directly from them as a medium to repost it so that you can also read it, because my perception of what I'm getting is I can leave it in there and still earn. But I want you guys to be able to read it yourself and get your own comprehension of exactly what they're saying.
But Timeless, this is what I want to know. So if they're going to move it somewhere else, then I won't be able to move it whenever I feel like in the future?
Oh, no, 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 no. So essentially what it's going to do is that move will be a move to a wallet account, not an earn account. So it's going to be within their same platform. Um, but as of right now, if you're not adding to it, you're not moving it, you don't do anything to change what the aspect of your positioning, holding it on Celsius, to my understanding, you will still earn. So I would just not touch it till you figure out where you want to move it, because you don't want to just move it off onto an exchange or a wallet that you're not going to earn anything from, since you were already earning on there. So go in, figure out what coins you have, the different options of where you can still earn that equivalent or more, and then make the move, because you don't want to start wasting money with all this gas movement if you're not really sure where you want to put it, if as long as they're still going to allow you to earn when you don't touch it.
I have one more question. Um, okay, I noticed that Strong was only like $38 last night. Is Strong going down because they're coming with stronger, or because it's like I could get a node for like $400 now?
No, you can't get a node for $400. Strong is not used to do node creation any longer. Strong is now, they're accumulating back as much of their strong, and there's people playing arbitrage with it. Strong right now does not have a use case, but we do know that their team is being paid with Strong. It's been speculatory coming from them that Strong will be the governance token or the token used for gas when Strong Chain comes out. We don't have a true depiction of what Strong is going to be used for, but Strong is not going anywhere. So There was a lot of people who thought when they got strong, they could do a one-on-one swap with stronger, which was not the case. So now people are just selling, selling, selling. So right now, to make a strong node, you're going to want to look at the price and everything from stronger. And right now, the only place you can get stronger is Uniswap.
Thank you very much, Connie. That's why I love this group. Thank
No problem at all.
Yeah, everybody's afraid of strong right now. They're treating it like it's the plague, because it's like fear of the unknown. They don't know what what the team is gonna do with it, and they're being tight-lipped about it. But I bought some. I kept some strong just to see, So I have me a few put away in a wallet because
And
I
I'm
want to
buying
see.
some because they are going to pull Strong off the exchange. They're going to pull it off Qcoin. Strong is going to come off the exchange because they've already told us that Strong will be harder to earn. And it takes, and for anybody who wasn't here last week, when I was explaining the process of getting a coin on a centralized exchange and getting a coin delisted off an exchange, it takes time. A project could say, hey, guess what? We are no longer functioning in capacity and there is no liquidity behind that coin. We need it pulled. And that exchange will be like, oh, okay, we'll work on it. 3 weeks later, that coin will finally get pulled off the exchange. But if you try to commit arbitrage with it against, depending on which exchange it is, they can hold you accountable for fees and stuff. So I know that there's liquidity behind Strong. So I've been chinking away, getting, when it drops like that, I'll grab one. I mean, we never seen Strong in a long, long time at these prices. And he said himself it will be harder to earn. That means to me, Strong will have a use case, in my opinion. It's going to have something to do. So I want some in my thing. And even if nothing else, it's a paid tribute to where it started.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been seeing you guys polar nodes are really getting some exposure, like good stuff. I can't really find anything negative being said about polar nodes right now, and
Polar!
that's look at you. That's pretty good though. Like I've been trying to find
Frosty.
some. Yeah, frosty nodes. But there is one thing: those NFTs look like shit. Those NFTs that they're selling are
They do.
horrible.
They do. But
Oh my
it's only a use case.
god. So, are you guys happy with the what is it V3 they were going to? Did it make you
Yep.
guys happy? Was it
Yeah,
smooth?
they so transparency, the actual go to V3 was smooth. Um, while then when people started migrating their nodes, bugs started appearing. When bugs started appearing, they stopped node creation. They stopped purchasing of lucky boxes. They stopped all money transfers, and it took them a few hours. They were very transparent with, hey, we seen this, so we are going to stop exchanging. And it took them a few hours. They got it back up. I was waiting for the masses to migrate, and all of my nodes migrated perfectly, but one, and I was trying to get answers for it. It took me a while, but I will say that that evening, it was late at night, and Sheeblord got back on Twitter, and then we were in each other talking in the inbox, and he helped me figure it out. So where there was some hiccups, the team really tried to get into the trenches with everybody and get it figured out. And for the people who migrated before they found the bugs, some of those nodes, well, NFTs didn't migrate over, and the team refunded each and every person who bought something that it didn't show up, the gas from the failed transaction or the gas that made the migration, but the node didn't fully migrate. So I will have to give them ups on that one.
Well, Cap, you got polar nodes too. That's good. I mean, that's really really nice that you got gas fees. That's awesome. Cap, you got some. How did you think they went? Were you happy or upset or what?
Yeah, I mean it went smooth. I'd say more so than others have. I had no issues migrating mine over. I didn't try during that first before they paused it. Actually, wait, I did, and then I realized that it was paused, so I couldn't migrate. But yeah, no, I mean, it went pretty smooth. Everything's going smooth. I only have one. I'm only getting like one polar a day, so I'm just stacking them.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Polar from afar. I haven't yet got in, but I'm
I
happy
might
for
try to
you
get a lucky
guys.
box
How
when
do you get a
fifth
lucky
That's what
launches.
box?
I'm
Depends on how
doing.
that goes.
Well, how do you get a lucky box? What do you do?
You just go to the marketplace on their D app, I believe, and you just gotta have. I think the cheapest one is what 135 polar.
Yeah, it's 135.
Yeah, you just buy it like you're buying a node, pretty much. I haven't tried. I haven't seen it either. Like anybody unbox one.
I just watched somebody unbox one, and so what it does is it pops up this lucky box, whichever one you get, and then it just kind of rotates and cracks open, and each so it's a little it's slightly more than what the lowest node within, well, the NFT. I'm trying to change my terminology for this. So it is a little bit more per lucky box for the lowest NFT within the box, but you get a chance of getting the specialty ones that have boost on it or a higher tiered NFT. So if you do the first one, I think the lowest is a Mont Blanc, I believe, but it will rotate through and you have a chance of getting one of the legendary ones or the rare ones, whatever terminology you want to use, which will have a boost and you'll earn more. So it's, if you have a gambling mentality, you can go ahead and hit the slot machine and see what rolls up against your screen, but every box will win something.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot
okay.
of money to gamble with for me. What is it, like $600 for a lucky box?
That's a lot.
I know.
That's an expensive gamble.
Yes, it is.
Is it, what is Polar at right now? Because I don't think, well, I'll have to go look. I don't want to just be spouting and not be right. Hold on.
Six hundred
About
dollars.
279, 279. So what is that, like 450, 500 now?
That's still a lot of money.
I know,
You know how much stronger I can buy with that? Right about now, I can make another note with that almost.
right?
It's 376. So yeah, I mean, it is, but if you were already going to get into one of those NFTs, it's, I mean, it just is really up to your risk factor. I know that Ovi and I talk about risk factors. I mean, you're not going to lose, you're going to get something, but if you get the lowest tier, you're paying a little bit more for it. But I will say with the specialty NFTs, if you get one and you choose you don't want it, you can sell that on their marketplace also. So they added a few tweaks to it. I'm still learning the interface and what all you can do, but I do know that now, I mean, you could do a personal deal with somebody too, because you can send your NFT to a different wallet now. It's not based on the wallet that you bought it from, it's stuck there.
Oh, so you can actually move it like freely. No, oh wow.
Yes, you can move it, you can gift it, you can do whatever you want with it now.
Oh, that's pretty cool because sometimes I don't. Man, I hate buying NFTs where I can't like just do what I want with them. That's pretty cool. Huh. All right. Well, I may have to look into this a little bit more. a
And I will
little bit
just
more.
say this is an opinion piece for me. I'm partial to it. I got in extremely early. I definitely have gotten my ROI, then some, and I've gotten more nodes. So this isn't just me saying I endorse it for everybody. I think it's going to be around for years and years and years. I'm saying I'm excited for me and I took the risk factor because there's still a risk to it, right? It's only 3 months old. So I'm not saying, hey, go out and get you guys a damn polar node and you're going to make it rich off of it. I am not saying that. So my excitement that you hear over it and my explanation is based on my personal experience.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Speaking of NFTs, I see that Floyd is shilling another NFT with his blockhead.
That Twitter beef is funny.
Well, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. You got into crypto, and about 4 projects that you spoke about were rugs, like, and not just subtle rugs, but like big rugs. You know what I'm saying? So, like, why would anybody believe you this time? Now, what is it called? What is it? The Mayverse, because his last name is Mayweather. You know, it's like I don't know. It doesn't look
He can
like.
go to hell. He's been hit in the head too many times.
I don't see too many people actually taking the bait either to buy it. I'm kind of surprised that they still had some for sale. You know, actually, I was thinking that, wow, it's gonna sell out quick. Everybody's gonna hop on it. Oh, that's not the case at all.
Isn't there like thousands left? Like sold like 120 or something.
Yeah, I seen it was like 115, 120 sold, and it had been out for hours. It did not sell out like they all did before. I think people are realizing Mayweather, man, stay in your own lane. And then he tried a rebuttal saying, I've learned a lot from all those other projects. This one's here to stay. I wish you would. Shut up. Go do something else, because this is not it for you.
Yeah, go be somebody's sparring partner. Like, I mean, come on, you're. I mean, don't you have enough money? Why are you out here scamming people with this? His collection has 5,000 NFTs, and I think it was what you guys said, like 100. The last time I looked, it was like under 200 sold out of 5,000.
Last time I looked, it was still under 200. I think the last time I looked, it was between 115 and 120. And I haven't been staying up on it because I was so upset. And I was like, I really hope people don't take this bait again and be like, but it's Mayweather. No, Mayweather has a certain thing he does. NFTs is not it. Or crypto in general. Don't be the spokesman. Don't create a project. We don't care about you and your shit.
Well, damn. I mean, maybe some people. Yeah, actually, there's certain things that I want you to stick to, like, boxing. Yeah, stay with that, Floyd. But don't come over here in this space, because I think your reputation is a little scarred right now with that, because it's not just one rogue pull, but like 3. Like, there's projects I haven't even heard of that he was in. Somebody mentioned 2018 ICOs, and I'm like, really? So he's been doing this for a while. So nah, he's good. Let him stick to boxing.
Facts. Kim, you just requested to speak. Sorry, my tongue is getting really twisted tonight, so bear with me, y'all. I'm here.
Hey guys, so
Hey, Kim.
I'm sorry I'm late. I'm coming in, y'all talking about Mayweather, and I'm all off the subject, but I need some help.
What's going on?
All right. Well, damn. I am stuck in MetaMask hell. I was trying to build another strong node, right? So everybody said, well, you know how you do it. You change your GUI to 16 and you just wait. So I did that. And, they never accepted the transaction. So I was like, okay. So I started reading about it, and it said, well, as long as you do a transaction that's higher than that one, it'll work. It'll cancel out the other one. I said, okay. So I did another transaction that was higher than that one. And that one said put it in the queue. So I'm like stuck because I can't get out of this MetaMask hell. I don't know how to, and now it's telling me if I speed up. So I've accepted the fact that, I'll lose $60 to cancel the first transaction. But now it says if you speed up the cancellation, it's $170. I'm like, I don't want to do all of that. I just want out of this shit. Anybody tell me the best way to get out of this?
I just posted something up in the nest right there.
Where at?
Right up at the top.
I see assume strong polygon node. Oh, wait a minute. If I move it, okay, hold on.
Yes, scroll over one, tap it over one. He just put up how to cancel a stuck ETH transaction.
Okay.
I have not done this on ETH before. I've done it on AVAX. I know it works on AVAX, but I'm sure it works on ETH too, as it says in the tweet.
Well,
And
I'll certainly let you know. Let's see.
Yes, please
I go to
do. But
settings.
I would suggest not messing with the GUI. I've never messed with the GUI. I just normally will go use the gas bot, pay attention to that, and kind of go in. So I personally don't know about changing the GUI. I've heard people say it over and over, but that's just something I've never done because I didn't want to have any type of issue like you're explaining right now too.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the one that says enable gas control. Where I get that from? Okay, on. And then custom nuance. I don't know where that is. I know, I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, I really need this help. And I need it because, never mind. I don't know how to get to the, it says enable advanced gas controls and custom nuance. What is that?
Are you on the phone or computer?
I'm on the computer.
Okay, let me get
I
mine
see it. Custom transaction nuance. Okay, so I enabled that, and then find your stuck transaction. Where I find that at?
Latest transaction. It should be on the activity. Yeah, it should be the activity, and
okay.
Most transaction. It'll show you what the custom nuance number is, and that's where you'll find that.
Find your stuck transaction nuance on Etherscan. Okay, hold on.
You don't have to go to Etherscan if you're on your Ethereum network wallet. If you click on the activity section, not the assets, if you go to activity and then that top transaction, it'll probably say contract interaction or something.
Yes, it says claim all.
Okay, click on that, and then it'll say a transaction in bold black. Underneath that, it'll say the nuance, and then that number is that number you need.
Nuance says 210.
Okay, yep, then that's what you need to use.
Where am I? Hold on. Send a 0 ETH text with a high enough gas fee. What? And set the customer.
So you're gonna copy your ETH address, like just copy it, and then go to send ETH, but send it to your ETH address that you just copied. You'll enter in 0 ETH, and then just up the gas. I don't know exactly what amount, but you just kind of up it a little bit, and it should fix that stuck transaction after you hit confirm.
So in these, when I'm sending it to my address, I'm putting the amount of the 210 nuance?
No.
Oh, shit.
On an ETH, you're sending yourself 0 ETH. So you go send, paste your address in.
Okay.
Hit 0. Here,
and then
hit 0, and then hit next.
And then it says estimated gas 317, custom nuance 212, and then confirm.
Change that custom nuance back to 212. Or actually, if that one says 212, change it back to 211 because your last transaction was 211, I believe. So that's going to be the one that's shoved in front. So that's going to be the most recent one that's stuck.
Okay, so change it to 211?
Yeah, try that first. and then just up the gas a little bit.
Up the gas. So it says, how am I up in the gas? Go back to max speed?
Advanced option. Do you see an advanced option? So you can click on that.
No, it doesn't give me advanced options.
Well, I guess you could Kev, I guess you can DM her and help her out with that.
True. Yeah. Sorry.
No. It sounds hell confusing. That's another reason why I don't like to use MetaMask. Like, my God, you got to do all of this.
I wonder if I don't know if they have those kind of issues on Trust Wallet or not.
I've never had these issues since I've been using it. Nothing. No, that's that's another reason why I stopped using MetaMask. I don't have to do all this GUI. I've never actually for everything that I've done, I've never actually had a problem doing that. But I know that MetaMask, they want you to change this and change that. I mean, I can't do all of that because oh my God.
Looks like it might be
time. You know, part of the thing for me is, and somebody else may have even wanted to hear this, but part of the thing is, you know, I'm sick of getting $160, $70 gas fees. So, you know, I thought it was a little thing, you know, this time I could do. I mean, I'll stick with the $170 now from now on, but you know, this is just bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna mess with you guys. I've done everything, Captain, and I'm just still sitting up here looking at speed up cancellation. And if I do that,
I can send you a DM of a video that I just found. I think you have to follow me back so I can DM you on Twitter. I can get you a video that's step by step walkthrough. It should make that a lot easier.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Let me go to the DM.
You're welcome, Kim.
No problem.
MetaMask out here giving people headaches with their with their GUI and change this and change that, and oh my God, Jesus Christ, yeah. DeFi's cracking up. DeFi, come on the mic with me. Why are you so quiet back there? You just back there listening? Come on the mic, DeFi.
DeFi say he gonna come later with all the questions at one time.
Oh, here he is. Yeah, right. What's going on, DeFi?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey,
What's
how you
going on,
doing?
DeFi?
Nothing much. I'm doing well. Can't complain. Life is treating me well right now, and you know, you just gotta take the blessings while they're coming.
Right. Well, one of my blessings was fulfilled today or yesterday. Robinhood got listed on. Shiba got listed on Robinhood. I was very, very happy about that. That was something unexpected to wake up to yesterday when I was on the train going to work. I was not something I was expecting, and I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people felt like they were going to list it, but wow, that's pretty good for the Shiba team. They're because actually them being rabid and tweeting them and starting these campaigns actually I think made it happen. Definitely a big community support because for a long time Robinhood was trying to avoid listing it, but I guess they figured, why not? Let's see. Kim, what's up? You got your hand up.
Yeah, Captain, I don't have a DM from you.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to follow me so I can send you a DM.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not allowing
I don't
me
follow
to.
you?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, give me a second.
No worries.
On this in-between space, I completely forgot I wanted to bring this up today because there's been a lot of stuff on social media going back and forth, like, oh, Certic can't be trusted anymore. One of the audits that they did was exploited. And I wanted to talk to y'all about how Certic works. So, as a project, they contact Certic. They say, hey, I have this project and I want to get it audited. And it's all dependent on the project, how many contracts they have. If a project just wants to be able to be labeled as we were Certic audited, they can just send in one contract. Certic will only audit that one contract, and that is it. So, for instance, if anybody didn't know, like Hector Finance, when they went, people were really up in arms because it was taking so long for the Certic audit. But if you were following that, they first put in their first audit request. It was accepted by Certic, and they started working on it. Well, consequently, they then sent 11 contracts under the first contract to be audited. So therefore, Hector Finance, from their treasury to their staking rewards to everything, all those contracts were audited. And that is what they got their rating on. So this elephant, whatever it is, elephant something status, elephant status, they were exploited for a lot of money. I think that was yesterday. And people are saying, well, Certic can't be trusted because didn't they do their audit? Certic did come out and say, hey, look, this is exactly what we did. We only audited this contract. This is the only contract they gave us. So there is no recourse. There is no nothing. And Certic cannot be held accountable for that exploit because that exploit did not come from the contract that they audited. And I wanted to bring up that conversation. And if any of you guys have questions or concerns, I'm not part of Certic. I'm not an expert, but I don't feel like a lot of people in the space truly know why Certic is labeled the standard and why they are labeled cream of the crop. It takes close to $1 million, if not no more, depending on the contract, per contract, to get it audited by Certic, and they don't rush it through. I know that we see Assure DeFi, and I mean, they're pushing projects through every single day with their KYC. Well, now Certic is also going to be offering a KYC also. So I wanted to open this conversation up for anybody who might have questions or trying to understand exactly what this means, because I think it's important when we see a Certic stamp of approval. I mean, I really take into account, but it's also us doing our due diligence to look and make sure how many contracts did Certic audit and how many contracts are within the protocol of this product or project. Sorry, see, tongue, lips not working.
Yeah, because you actually showed me the Hector the Hector Finance, and I was like, so they actually have to basically review 11 contracts with a fine tooth comb, so to speak. So, and that's also why I remember someone saying before that you know it doesn't really matter sometimes who audits these companies because these crypto projects, because if they only send one contract and they have like 10 more that they haven't made privy to people like Certic or any other or a company, it's like they can always rug you, so it all depends on also too the project's honesty, because I was reading like, how can somebody like change something and that, but I was looking at it closer, it's because they didn't share everything with the company that was auditing them, and I thought that was also pretty interesting.
Absolutely. And with that also being said, Certic does, when they audit these things, if you go and look on Certic's site, it will give you every month the risk factor in each one. Sometimes they go up really high, sometimes they drop down low, because while they're not going through a fine tooth comb, they are monitoring social media sentiment, investor sentiment, how it's moving on its chart, and they do a quick review on the things that they have themselves audited. So I still truly believe in it as a tool. I like Certic a lot, And I began liking them a lot more when I started learning a lot more about them and really digging in during Hector Finance, because we all remember Hector came out as Hector DAO, a rebase token. And then they said, oh, we're going to launch Hector Bank. All of us were like, yeah, sounds good, but is that really going to happen? But what they did is they went through the process. They have I believe now, I have to go back and look, but I think that they were talking about a launch pad, or that's already came out. So there's a lot of moving parts on that. But as it happens, they always go back to CertIC, and they always request for the project to be reviewed. And CertIC can turn down a project too. If they don't want to audit that project, it doesn't matter that they have the money to pay for it. They can also turn you down. They have to accept you as a client also.
Oh, so they're also selective. They just don't, work with everybody. Huh. I didn't
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that. So, okay. So I guess if they actually want to work with you, that's actually kudos to the project. They must actually feel like they're legit, and will be willing to fix any problems that they find in the audit. So that's interesting. Very interesting.
And that is why I like CertIC, because I am super hard on a lot of these. I am not held my tongue, bit my cheek, nothing on how I feel about Assured DeFi. And it's getting worse by the day. I didn't think it could get worse. It's getting worse, FYI. And I tell them that too. Anything that they're tagged under, they know exactly how I feel and how a lot of people feel. But CertIC is now going and moving into the KYC space. While I still have a lot of questions about KYC, because we've all seen that KYC doesn't mean nothing, just like some of these docs teams don't mean anything. So paying attention, moving along with it. But if you don't understand CertIC, ask some questions, go and talk to them. But DeFi, I see you unplug your mic. What you got?
Oh no, I was just gonna give you some flowers there and say that I am so glad that I joined this space. It's like every single time that I chat with you, ladies, or listen to y'all, I learned something super valuable, and I mean that seems to be my life now on Twitter is just picking up pearls on pearls on pearls, kind of on a daily basis, and just learning that there are so many more questions that I need to be asking and digging into and looking into, and this was totally outside of my sphere of awareness. So thank you guys for bringing that up.
No problem. It is our pleasure. We love doing it.
Yeah, Timeless is a little rabid when it comes to some of these companies, these audit companies. So, this is her arena. I'm just here listening because she's really, 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 really a stickler for these auditing contracts, and that's one of the things I appreciated because she actually brought a lot of things to my attention also when it comes to audits. So yes, kudos to you, Thomas. Thank you.
No problem. I just think that while people are yelling for regulations, we do have some things in this space that give us some recourse at the end of the day. So if something were to happen on a contract that CertIC audited, there are some recourses. They do stand by their audits and things like that. So I do implore you all to definitely dig in, because there are things that are there for us in the DeFi space. And while we overlook it, and you see people all the time on social, we need regulation, we need this, we need that. Well, while you're jumping ahead, I just made a post the other day saying, when September 11th happened, they said, we're going to enact the Patriot Act. This is a temporary act for us to spy on everybody, essentially. Was in the military during that time, so I can tell you that was happening for real. And it was supposed to be something that was going to draw back over time. Well, it hasn't. And they've actually doubled down on it. So we didn't have the TSA like we did until after 9/11. You can't go to an airplane gate, but and now it's public record, Snowden even put it out there too, was anybody that can surveil anything can surveil your phone calls, it can be tapped into, they can listen for 28 to 30 seconds. Then they have to cut it off. That does not mean that they can't come right back around and listen. So people wanted those regulations. They wanted some protection. Like, oh my God, we were under attack. What will we do? So in a frenzy and scared, we all went along with it. And this was an easy one, being as we are all adults, we all remember, even if we were younger, 9/11. So fast forward, now we're all in crypto. If we all keep yelling for regulation, we want this, we want protection, we want recourse, we want this, what's going to happen is they are going to tie your hands. There is going to be some of the same rules and regulations as the stock market, and then the recourse down the line will be us middlemen being locked out of the space that we are really digging into for financial freedom in our retirement and to be secure later. So I really implore you guys to dig really, really, really deep if you are somebody who wants regulations, in really doing a pros and cons list, even if you write it down on paper, to truly see, okay, it sounds good just to say, but do I really mean it? And am I ready for the repercussions that this will come out to be? Because there really is a lot of repercussions that this can be.
Right. Yeah, I'm not over here screaming for regulations. Not at all. And why would I scream for regulations when we have people who are the regulators and they don't understand what the hell this is? How can you ask somebody to regulate something and they don't understand it? Hell, a lot of us don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So if we as investors don't understand all of it, how the hell are you asking somebody who doesn't invest in it or doesn't care for it to regulate it? That's just to me, that's kind of like, common sense. So that's just, what I think about it. Hold on, Kim, I'm gonna put you back on. Let me see my phone. Oh, all right. Go ahead, Kim. Let's see.
It's going to take, oh, there you go. I was going to say, it's going to take a minute to connect. Go ahead, Kim.
Oh my God, Captain. That was the best video ever. You guys, I mean, all you had to do was press reset something. But I got the video now forever. But that is so easy. So for me, it's going to be an option. I can go to sleep and put it on 17, 18, 19 GUI. If I wake up the next day and I'm ready to do whatever it is and it's not taking it, I can just say reset my MetaMask and it takes all of that out. That's a blessing. So now, from now on, I know we just talked about how, you don't want to mess with the GUI. No, I'm gonna mess with the GUI. I'm really gonna mess with the GUI now.
Kim, go ahead, Kim.
No, I'm serious, because if I can just tell it, 15, if it drops down to 15 or 14 or 13 and they take it, and I wake up the next day and that's good. But if they don't take it and I just reset it and do whatever I need to do. It's gone. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain. I owe you something. Sex is not in the cards, okay?
What the? Go ahead, Kim. Oh, thanks, Cap, for helping Kim out. All right.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to interrupt everything, because I really needed that. And I think most of you probably will run into that, and it might have been something you needed to hear.
Actually, yeah. Even though I don't like MetaMask, that's good to know, because one day I may have to actually use it. I avoid it, but yeah, that is actually good to know. Hey, Cap, post that video in the Telegram for me. That's actually a good one. Please, Cap. Thank you so much, Cap, for helping her out, and thank you for the assumed strong nodes tweet you sent me for Yvonne earlier. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem.
Can I say one more thing?
Of
This
course.
is
Of course
why
you
it's
can. Go ahead.
important to have little meetings, workshops, whatever we call conferences, whatever you want to call this what is this? This is Twitter. These Twitter
Yeah, Twitter
spaces,
Spaces.
because it's so often that somebody runs into something that they have no idea what to do to get out of it. And there's somebody that's got the knowledge that they need right in this space. You guys, Timeless and Oculus, I want to thank you right now. I mean, this is the most thanks I'm giving you guys, because this was crazy here. But anyway, I appreciate it, y'all.
You're welcome, Kim. Anytime.
No problem.
You've
Thank
been
you
here.
for supporting us
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
Yeah, you've been here every week, Kim, every week. So if you want to take 10 minutes to get some help, I will give that to you. I don't care about that. Thank you so much.
And I really, truly appreciate you, Kat, for coming in clutch on that, because while we're up here and we're hosting, we can't go and look. And you just came with that information real quick and on time. So you came through clutch and super appreciate you.
Anytime.
Okay.
But while we're talking about GUI and stuff, just I don't know if you guys were paying attention that we've been waiting for the merge of ETH 2.0. That is not happening in June any longer or beforehand. They said that they need more time, even though they've been saying it's ready to roll out. It's done. We're just obviously it was not ready to be rolled out and it's done. They were saying at least a few more months after that. So the miners are still going to be making money on ETH. ETH is still going to be what it is right now. And I wouldn't get our hopes up for it happening in fall or winter of this year based on their track record and how they keep pushing it off. It looks like it will more than likely happen in 2023, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so. Now he says it was supposed to be in June, and then one of the devs on the team said it was supposed to be in June, and then he said it wasn't coming until months after. So whenever somebody says that, I'm thinking probably 2023.
Have y'all gotten a sense of like what it's gonna look like when when ETH is upgraded? Like how does it like meaningfully change what we do on a daily basis?
They were actually saying that it was supposed to be cheaper when it comes to fees or whatever, because it moves to instead of proof of work, it moves to proof of stake. So that's supposed to actually lower the fees that that we all hate about Ethereum, you know. But we shall see. That's my main thing that I've understood from it. And that's what I'm looking for, because I think all of us have been robbed by ETH over the months, the days, the weeks, or the years if you've been here. So, you know, as long as when they said that, that's what I looked into as far as anything else, because, you know, I used to mine ETH. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I was actually getting paid for transactions, you know, to help move them along the blockchain. So um, if they were coming out with some way where we don't have to pay $300, you know, to withdraw 200 coins, you know, that's great. So I don't know if Timeless got anything to add. You got anything to add on that, Timeless?
Nope, that's pretty much what I've been reading and understanding. They've been kind of tight-lipped about it. My biggest thing I've been following on it is I still hold a bag of ETC when they and that's the part that drives me crazy. I've been hanging on to this ETC because I've been waiting for this merge to happen. So when that ETH 2.0 was supposed to actually roll out and become active, the miners will no longer be able to mine on ETH anymore. And the only option, because of their setups that they have, to do ETH would be go back to ETC to do mining. And I was just using that as the pivot point of selling my ETC to put into something that I believe in a lot more. So what OB said, and then for my personal thing is I just need it to come out so miners will move to ETC, give me a pump so I can sell.
Yeah, and I certainly had heard the point about reducing fees, right? Which is, I mean, really what everyone's excited about. I was curious if y'all had heard like if it changes um, like the way that different like applications would interact with the Ethereum blockchain. Like, would MetaMask change at all? Or, I mean, obviously, besides like reducing fees for transactions that you when you're using it, or if I guess one other big change would be that you'll actually really start getting rewarded for staking ETH. I guess that might be another thing that would change. But yeah, just if you guys had heard anything.
I think they'll have more information as it gets closer. And honestly, because I'm not a huge fan of each, haven't dug in too deep. I told myself once we get a for sure date and they're actually meeting the marks on their roadmap, then I would dig in a little bit more because we know how ETH works. We've watched it work, and um, for me, it's just like it's not worth using all my brain power to understand it now when it can change in a couple months. So as we get closer and I dig in a little bit more, I'll have more understanding, and I know OB will too. I just know that there's so much more to be able to research in things that are changing right now, that aren't going to change necessarily at the snap of a finger. So as I learn more, I will definitely be letting y'all know.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome answer too. Yeah, the opportunity cost of learning about something that's effectively like 20 years in the future for crypto timelines, probably not worth it at the moment. So yeah.
Right.
Speaking of which, what are you like digging into? So I earlier you talked about polar nodes and how they're kicking ass. You talked about let's see. The how like oh my god, Certic is you need to be careful when you're actually evaluating what a Certic audit means. We talked about how Assure sucks. So what's some other stuff that you're looking into?
Personally, for me, I'm looking into VRA. Gave a snapshot of what their NFT marketplace is going to look like. So I was looking at that and seeing how they're going to set that up. And I've personally just been going back through my portfolio since we do have some people who are unsure in our Telegram of different ways of researching. I've been trying to go back and evaluating my coins, seeing have anything changed in the way that they're doing business, a new roadmap, and update the white papers. So I've been really just doing a current review of things that I hold, and also trying to set up how to benefit yourself if you don't know how to use CoinMarketCap, to be able to go there. If you have a question of where coins are, or the exchanges where you can get coins and tokens, and how to find that. So I've been trying to do some of the core basic things so that I can give value back to our Telegram community. And as things pop up, like if Kat brings up something, or if me and OV see or OV and I see something, then I'll go and look. I'm not really concentrating in particular on too many new projects because some of them just seem really full of fluff. So yeah, I'm just curious of just doing that and being able now to do the learn or teach one, learn one type thing, where I can pull my hand down and pull everybody that's in our community up to a level of knowing how to research and doing things on their own also.
Yeah, I'm there's there's a few I'm looking at. But of course, I hope you guys do your own research in them. Sato is one. Um, what's another? I'm looking back at Neo. Neo is an older hold of mine. I held it a few years ago and I sold it. And what else am I looking at? I'm definitely big on Near. Um, I actually bought some more of that not too long ago. But those are like some of the few that I'm looking at. But I'm like kind of like timeless. I haven't really been focusing on buying anything new because I'm trying not to spread myself too thin, and I'm getting to the point now where I don't want to keep up with a whole bunch of projects in my portfolio because I've already done that before. And you have to be careful with that because if you have 50 coins you're invested in, that's like having 50 kids. I don't even have one kid, so I can imagine trying to keep up with 50 kids. How this kid is feeling today in the market. Did this kid have a dev that left, or I mean, come on, they're crypto projects. So when you start investing in all these projects, like some people are like, I got 90 coins. Oh, you what? I know you don't know what's going on with 90 coins. There's no way possible. You only have one freaking brain. So I'm trying to keep it at a minimum of what I'm actually focusing on. So those are the three that I'm looking at right now. But other than that, nothing much. I'm always keeping my eye open. But as far as investing and throwing in money, nothing really new as of yet.
Right. And yeah, I go with that too. And that's why I was saying I'm taking a pulse back on my portfolio. I used to say that a lot, and I stopped saying it in here as much because I didn't want it to lose its meaning by desensitizing people to hearing it all the time. But definitely always taking a pulse of your portfolio as you're moving forward. I will say, while OV was talking, I do have one that I continuously go back and look at, and that's just me personally. Is I've been looking at SteamX heavily and watching how they've been progressing because they're going to be a Canadian exchange, and they haven't launched yet, but they've been gradually going into the roadmap and hitting the check mark. So I'm super interested in that one personally, and have been for a while.
Yeah, you've been talking about that project for a long time. Um, Pretty good project. Pretty. I hope actually it takes off and does well. But you've been talking about that in our Telegram for a while. I've seen you do the price check on it, Timeless.
Yeah, I do every once in a while. I try not to do it too often because I don't want it to be like I'm trying to sway somebody into wanting to get into it. I just personally like it. I like that they're doxed. I like that they're trying to change how the exchange is set up and how they move. So personally, I like it. And if you guys are interested in those kind of things, I would definitely go and look at it. But definitely look at it, cross-reference, dig in deep. And that's the reason why I'm saying I'm working over here of trying to figure out the best way of sharing information that OV and I know of how to research things. Because the more and more people I talk to and how our Telegram is growing, I'm realizing some people, they don't know how to fully dig in or look at the white papers or understand what's going on there. So I feel like right now my priority is trying to help our community in knowing how to accumulate the knowledge to be able to research things if they find a project or they hear about a project where they are able to research it and then get some help if they need some help, but being able to take the initiative and start doing their own deep dive and dig into the projects that they're interested in and not just being everybody else's projects.
Yeah, for me, the new one that I started looking into. So ironically, the last time, or probably it was probably the last time that we chatted, you had mentioned GeoJams, and
Oh, GeoJam.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks really cool. I didn't end up kind of fully diving into that one, but instead I kind of pivoted over to ads or Alchemy Exchange, which is also on like the Constellation system. And initially I was thinking like, well, I already have DAG, like probably don't want to look at too much in their ecosystem. But man, ads looks really cool, like in the way that they're going to be able to like trade, um, like create like a real-time exchange for advertisers, and like create this like super robust system that prevents a lot of waste in the advertising space. I think it's brilliant. I think it's really cool. So if anyone's looking for something new to deep dive into, that could be a really cool one.
Yeah, I really liked that one. I looked at that superficially in Lattice. I really liked. So there's a lot going on over there, and they're building. And if anybody's here that hasn't looked into DAG themselves, I definitely would. Their very first contract and the first people that believed in them was the DoD, and then they got the Phase 2 Air Force award. That's not easy to come by. So if you're looking at something that hasn't completely blown up and you're trying to build your bag, definitely look into DAG and see if it fits into investing in your interest and a part of the diversity within your portfolio.
But yeah, I also really respect how you're kind of circling back and taking a pulse on the stuff that you're already interested in, and then making sure that you're really focusing on building up your community. I think that's really laudable. So.
Thanks, DeFi.
Yeah, thanks, DeFi. Who else? Does anybody here have any SHIB? I mean, I mentioned my SHIB and nobody said anything. I mean, I'm pretty
I
excited
still
about.
have my little bit. I just don't get excited over Robin Hood because they rob in the hood. I took myself out of
Nah,
my
come on, man. Got the Robin Hood joke.
I took myself out of my stock positions. Like I have like $3 of things on there, and I'm just like, I mean, great. I'm glad she got the listing. I just am not a fan of Robinhood.
Hey guys, I got a question too. Timeless, when you were on the Telegram, I was trying to go back and look how you deep dive into some of these projects. And when you were saying look into their web pages and how they looked, you were putting some pictures on there, but with my old eyes, I couldn't see them. So could you just tell us a little bit more what you were talking about by looking at the web pages? And also because I saw something called Spear Finance, and I wanted to do a deep dive on that. I'm not sure if anybody heard of it. And so I just wanted to know how to go about, besides just looking at the white paper, to do that on Spear Finance.
Okay, so the screenshots I had put up there were, if you're looking for a coin, I always go to coinmarketcap.com, and in the top search bar you can put the ticker or the name of whatever coin token you're looking for. And I mean, some newer projects aren't on there yet, but a majority of everything you're going to be looking for is going to be there. And then if you scroll down, once you see the chart, go right underneath it, and it will have, I can't pull it up on my, I can pull it up right here. It's the tab that it's on. Then next to it will say market, and then it says something else next to it. What I was showing him is to scroll down, click on market, and when you click on market, it opens up a list of the exchanges it's on, and it will give its reputation of safety. Some of those exchanges aren't accessible in the United States, and as you're moving through, you'll understand, like, I guess people were being able to use Gate.io. They no longer are. And so it will just show you like KuCoin, BitTrue, all of those of where you can get coins. I'm going to sit down with OV and try to get a plan of action of ways that I can do like very short videos that I can drop in the Telegram for everybody. I just don't want them to be low quality. I want them to be beneficial to everybody. So that's really what I was showing.
Okay, thanks. So I pulled it up. I went to market and it just says quick swap. But where did you say the safety rating would be?
It would be right next to it. I think it says reputation on there. But also, if you scroll up to the top, you have the different options right there. So it will say like what I think it says website. Does it say? It says website and something else. It also has a place up there for the white paper. It has the contract address. It has everything that you essentially need to know in one little location, how to get to each thing to start doing deep diving into it. So if I'm starting a deep dive on any project, unless it's brand new and it's not on CoinMarketCap, that is my starting point. So, because you can dig into investors of different ventures and stuff on there, which is a little bit more advanced. Get comfortable with that front page of how to get to a white paper, how to get to their official website, how to look down there and see what markets of where you can get certain things at. And when they're new, QuickSwap might be the only place, or Uniswap might be the only place, depending on the blockchain that this coin is on. And as it grows, you'll start seeing the places where it's available show up more and more. So CoinMarketCap is a pillar of what I would suggest anybody to start researching at.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Amelia, I seen you jumped up here. You have something for us tonight?
Oh no, what's up? I was just Oculus had asked anybody holding SHIB, and I've been holding SHIB for a minute. So I think the Robinhood listing is a good thing. I think the reason why Robinhood is a good thing is because Robinhood is the app for all of the people who don't have no clue about crypto and don't know how to move through exchanges. They could get in on the price action with Shiba through that way. The same way with Doge. Doge was out way before Robinhood was out, but I wasn't into crypto when Doge first came out. I started day trading and not day trading. I started swing trading Doge through Robinhood, and that's when they had the post talking about let's try to get Robinhood to a penny, and I mean let's try to get Doge to a penny, and everybody on Robinhood was going crazy. So I just think because of the SHIB listing, even though it's late, because we was expecting it last year, but it still brings in all of those people who have Robinhood accounts who have bought Doge and played around with Doge. Now you have that same audience that can go into Shiba and play. If you look at Shiba on Robinhood, you could swing trade the hell out of that coin. Yeah, I'm looking at it all day. It goes up, it goes a little down, goes up a little down. If you got like $10,000, you could just buy 10,000 worth of Shiba when it's down and just wait a few hours or even a day or two, and you'll make money. I was doing that with Doge all day. So I think overall it's a good thing. I think eventually it will get to a penny, but not this year. I think if Shiba could get to 0.001, I think that's a possibility maybe by the end of the year or maybe sometime next year. And that'd be great because with the amounts I'm holding and the amounts of some of the people that I know who have it, you're talking about a few 100,000 to some people being millionaires just off of it going 0.001. I got in early. I got in last March before it had its run up, so I think it's a good thing.
I do have a question though for y'all. Has Robinhood changed it where you can remove your assets from their
Um,
platform yet?
well, I do know they have wallets coming, but being as that I live in New York, I can't. It told me that I cannot get a wallet, and I can't swing trade Shiba. I can't buy Shiba through Robinhood. I can get it because yesterday they Shiba had the giveaway. Robinhood had the giveaway. If you reposted something and I reposted it and Oculus reposted it. Matter of fact, Oculus sent me the link and I reposted it and I got $10 worth of Shiba. So it's funny. I have Shiba in Robinhood, but the only thing I could do with it is sell it. I cannot buy it at all. But they are rolling out wallets from what they said months ago. And like I said, I got the email saying because I live in New York that I can't utilize their wallet.
Yeah, so I think me and Amelia are kind of like bad examples to ask because we can't do a whole lot of shit in New York. So I got the same thing. So I mean, that's why when it comes to Robinhood, I never ever like look to take anything off of there. Like I got into using Robinhood as a person who lives in New York as like just a place to trade it and cash out. That's it. because once I buy it, it's stuck there. I already know that. I know the Doge that I have there is stuck there, so that's not really like a problem for me because I went in reading and seeing what they said about my jurisdiction, so I didn't go in there blindly like some people do when they don't read. So I'm cool with that because I don't have a lot on there on Robinhood at all.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
also going to say that I think the people who, if you're serious about investing in Shiba and holding it as a long-term play, because like I said, I do believe it's going to be top 10 and it's not going anywhere, because it's getting added to so many, forms of payment. Robinhood definitely would not be the place to purchase it. You would, purchase it on an exchange and of course put it in your cold wallet or your online wallet or whatever. But if you want to swing trade it, Robinhood is perfect for it because it's so simple to swing trade on it. Just buy it, wait till it goes up, and then sell it. And then buy it back when it goes back down. You could do that all day. So, Robinhood is not to be, when it comes to crypto, Robinhood is definitely not a platform to take serious to me as of yet. Maybe once they start rolling out the wallets and but I still don't see too many people adapting to that. Not when you have, the exchanges and hard wallets and all that. So, and you have Coinbase. So I don't see Robinhood people really taking advantage of their wallets like that when it's time.
Right. Kenny G just sent me an inbox, and he did say that he was able to remove his Bitcoin and ETH. So maybe the crypto side of it, since they took their time to expand into that side, you're able to remove it. I knew that's why I shut down my stock positions, is because I could not take them off of Robinhood and move them to a broker. So that's kind of what I was going off of, but good information, Kenny G. I guess you can send it. I'm just not huge on Robinhood, but I'm glad you guys can get it off, and that makes sense, Amelie. If I was a swing trader, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Robinhood being Shibli being listed on Robinhood is actually a good thing. I'm sure a lot of people don't know what it is on there who actually are Robinhood users, especially if they're not into crypto. But I mean, the reason why this coin has still kept me in profit since I bought it in February of last year is because of, the exchanges that it's been listed on. I think the last time I checked, it was listed on 76 exchanges, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot. That's a lot of exchanges when you look at like my beloved Strong. That's only on what, like 3 or 4. So I mean, the more exposure anything has, the more people can get their hands on it, the better that is for price action. That goes for any product on the market. If you can buy a Ford vehicle in every freaking province of the world, yeah, they're going to make money. So I'm just glad for the extra exposure because, whenever it gets listed, I get a little pump and I take a little bit of profit. And I've been taking a little bit of profit here and there off of my sheep since last year, February. It actually performed better than a lot of my blue chips and still is, and I have a lot of good projects out there, but they haven't done for me what my
Are
sheep
you
has
on
done.
house money yet?
Oh, hell yeah. I took my,
I know you are. That's
woo,
why I
baby.
wanted to ask that, because I wanted to circle
Yeah.
back on what we talk about is taking your profits along the way so you could be on house money. It makes you feel great.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right now it's to me it's like people are like, oh, I'm down. I don't care if it goes down because I've already taken profit and I took a big profit last year, a nice profit. So I'm good. If it doesn't do anything from this point now, it doesn't matter. I put in like under $60 and I made thousands of dollars. So I'm happy.
Go ahead, Amelie.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've been in profit for a long time because I only bought I think $140 worth of Shiba in March, and that got me 1.5 billion and then of Shiba. And when it went to its all-time high, that 1.5 billion was worth close to 100 G's, 100 grand. So yeah, like I sold a lot of it though. I only kept a little over 100 billion of it. I mean 100 million of it. But that's my long term play. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like if I give it the next 5 or 6 years to go to a penny, and I have over 100 million, but I'm just using 100 million as just the base number. My 100 million will get me $1 million if it goes to a penny, and I don't care how long it takes because I've already took my money and then some from Sheba. So for all I care, it could sit in the archives for as long as it takes. I don't care if it takes 10 years to get to a penny. Like who went and if somebody told you right now, listen, for $160, just hold this, take $160 and wait 10 years and you'll have possibly 500 to $1 million. Everybody in this room would do that. So I'm not in no rush. I don't care about the price action of Sheba at all because my targets is 0.001 and 1 cent. When it gets to one of those two, if it gets to 0.001, I'm definitely going to take some more profit because that's like $500,000 right there. So it could do whatever it wants to do at this point.
Absolutely. And I think it's good for other people to hear that because I know OV has said that over and over again, and I've said it in a different way, but I know it resonates sometimes with other people when not it's not the people hosting the show coming in saying, "Hey, I've done this and this is what logically makes sense and for me," and just giving some examples. So I love hearing it. Thanks.
Can you ladies tell how to the best way to take profits off for me who's new?
OV, you want that one first? Or you want me to go?
Um, I'll go real quick. Yvonne, for example, she was like my big money maker, right? Like, I didn't see that much money in my portfolio ever. So I had to actually do a little math and figure out what I did was for me, since I put in a small amount, right? Essentially, what I did was I went back and I looked at how much basically, because I put in about 60 or 70 bucks, right, in sheep at the time. So I went back and I wanted to take at least 25% profit of that, right? So what I did was I went back and figured out how much $30 of sheep would be, how many coins that would be when I first bought it on February 1st. So the price was going to be different. I don't remember actually what the price was when I bought it February 1st because I bought it the 1st of February when it listed on Hotbit. But what I did was basically take profit for that many coins at the time. And let me see. And when I did that, that's what I did because I didn't want to take too much and I didn't want to take too little. So that's what I did. If I kind of did the math myself, like, okay, if I put in 60, let's say I want to take out, $25 worth on the first, because $25 on the 1st of February of last year would have got you a nice amount of sheep. And that's how I took profit. And I kept the rest. So that's one of the ways I do it for myself. I don't take too much and I don't take too little, but I don't actually want to take too much because you know what? If I would have taken too much, then maybe I'll stop myself from another pump. So that's one of the ways I did it when it came to sheep. Other ways I just take out my initial investment. If I put in $100, I usually try to get that back. If I put in $5,000, I try to get my $5,000 back. That's the way I've always done it because you should always get out what you put in. Go ahead, Thymeless.
And that's pretty much what I do. And to go along with it, I base it on what coin it is, how much of a percentage of my portfolio it is, and I look at how much of a percentage of the pump it was. And so if I have a smaller amount that I have invested and it has a larger pump, I always take out a little bit unless it has pumped enough for me to take out that initial investment without it hurting. And not once have I came to that conclusion. So I always typically it's between 0.5 to 2.5% based on some of the things that I've invested in and how they've pumped and the position I have within my portfolio. And then it's every pump, even but it has to be a double digit pump. It can't be a single digit pump for me. And then I do a calculation. If I took this, I give myself like 3 or 4 options, and then I take out a little bit and a little bit more on the next pump and a little bit more until my initial investment is done. And while we're talking about that, I suggest everybody having a notebook of some sort that is their crypto notebook. This is where you put your notes in and everything. So I also go in there and write down when I invest in something, the name, the date, the price, the time, and everything. So all my analytics for every coin and every project I get into is written in this book now so that I can reflect back to it. And so then I'll take a little bit off the top, and sometimes I'll put them in stables or what have you. If you really need the money, go ahead and take it. But so I'll put it in stables, or I'll roll that into a new project. When I get my initial investment out, then I reanalyze how I'll take profits depending on how the price action is and what the project is doing.
Okay, thanks for that. Because one of the things is, since I started in end of January, at January 31st, and so first thing I bought was ETH, and I think it was like 2,300, 2,400 at the time. So I just bought some, just not a whole bunch, but just some. And then I began to like dollar cost average after that. And of course, when it went up and it started going down, I just left it alone. So should I have been taking some, even though it was only buying it at that price? Should I have been taking some, even though it was only there for a couple months, or should
It
I just left it alone?
it's really up to you and how you are developing your portfolio. If it's certain things that you believe highly in that doesn't have as many price action, then I'm I'm on either side. You can either write it up or write it down. But when we see the volatility in the crypto space, for me, if I start seeing things really looking very bearish, I start analyzing, taking some things out that are still up and transitioning into stables. I do know some people, when that bear flag starts shining, they go ahead and put everything into stables. And for me, I don't like to do that because I don't want to lose my position. Because yes, sometimes it might go down below where I initially got in. Um, but I have some that I know are at a price point now that I will never get the price point of where I got in. So for me, that doesn't make sense to take it out. So what you should probably sit down and do, develop your plan, have your crypto notebook, have some guidance of yourself of what your risk factors are and what you're trying to see. Have some short-term goals, some mid-term goals, and some long-term goals. Those will help guide you and direct you into a way of which coin or token that you hold and where you'll take it out as a like pretty much like a stop loss for yourself or things of that nature. Because every last person has different ways, even if you do it similarly, even though OB and I have a lot of the same viewpoints on how we do things, if you sat us down next to each other and we had the same exact amount of money in the same exact projects, there is no way we are going to manage our portfolio the same exact way. So getting guidance and asking questions is great, but what you're going to have to do is figure out what your risk to reward process is going to be and where you see yourself saying, okay, I can take profits here, or I need to bail out a certain projects if it hits a certain point, if that is what you're going to do. Because I am not one that encourages people to ride it all the way up all the way down, all the way back up. If you miss that in the middle where you said I was going to pull out at that time, then write it down and write it back up. But riding that emotional roller coaster that is emotional for some people, I've been learning how to take my emotions out of it, can be very traumatizing to the brain. So understanding where you are at is going to be your number one priority.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And one other thing is there's a little bit of subtext also to what both of them said about like about always wanting to get out your initial, and kind of the idea behind that is you never when or like again, this isn't investing advice, blah blah blah, but you never want to lose your initial capital, right? Because if you lose initial capital, then it takes a higher percentage gain to get back to your original position, right? So if you have $100, you lose $50 in order to get back to that $100 initial position. You now have to have not a 50% gain, but a 100% gain in order to get back to $100. So that's kind of why they're harping on that idea of it's very, very important to get back your initial capital, and that's basically what everyone in this space will tell you. And if everyone
Not
is
everybody.
saying,
Not
okay,
everybody.
okay,
Oh my
okay,
lord.
that's hopefully what everyone in this space should be telling you. But I again, there are other valid ways to invest, and like they're saying, like it kind of depends on your goals, your strategy, your situation. So like for example, like what Thymeless was alluding to was a very typical strategy for appreciation plays, right? Like holding on to Bitcoin or speculating on some random project that she invested in, and or that she investigated, and then decided to invest in. But if, for example, like with node plays, right, it doesn't really make sense to like hold on until you until you get like or it doesn't. A lot of the time, node plays are going to go down in value over time, right? And so if you're like holding on to get to the point where the price has appreciated back to the point where you bought in, you're going to be holding onto those tokens for a long period of time, and or compounding forever and not actually profiting. So it just kind of depends on your situation.
Okay, so in no plays, best to get your initial investment off before you start compounding, is what you're saying?
That's what a lot of people do. Again, it depends on how confident you are in the project, right? So like a lot of people will say like, oh, strong is, it's never going anywhere, and so I feel comfortable compounding right away. But like, for something like unicorn nodes or whatever, which I just learned is actually a real thing.
It is.
For something like unicorn nodes, right? Everyone who gets into that project and is creating these nodes, they're immediately going to be selling to try and get back their initial right away, so that they ultimately don't lose money, and they're just kind of hoping that it holds on for 20 days or whatever the ridiculous ROI is, so that they can get their ROI, and then from there you're playing with house money. So that's how I look at it. And I probably live in an echo chamber of people who think the same way, but it seems like a pretty wise way of going about it.
Absolutely, because that example is so I can use the comparison from polar to strong. So strong, I'm compounding. I believe highly in the team, the project, and everything. When I degened into polar, I definitely got my ROI first with no intentions of compounding. I wanted ROI and some gains. And then once I met that and they were still around, then I started then holding some of my polar to then compound and get me another node or what have you. So that's a really good comparison of exactly what DeFi was saying was, hey, I have my strong and I believe in it. So um, I don't think it's going anywhere. So I'm compounding in that. Um, I I mean, we could wake up tomorrow and it could be completely different because we are in crypto. But Strong's been around for 16 months, a little over 16 months, and I believe in the team and I believe in David Moss. So that's why I believe I can just compound. I'm going to compound to a certain set node, and then I'm going to take my get my ROI. But Polar, I got that right off top. It's that risk versus reward. So exactly all of what DeFi just said.
Yeah, it's actually like a personal decision because I mean, what if you got into strong when the coin was like, let's say you got in when it was $700. So if and you bought 10 at $700. So and then it dropped. So you're going to keep taking profit for a while without compounding. So that may actually harm you in the interim. That's why it's always a personal decision. Because if you get in right now, actually you taking profit, it probably will be quicker for you to get your profit that you initially put in. I mean, get your return on your investment that you initially put in than somebody who bought when it was 400, 500, 1,000, or what is it, 800 and 700. So that's all a personal decision. When it comes to things like that, you have to know the price of when you got in and how long will it take you. You know, if you pay $3,000, $5,000 for a node, and now a node costs $700, you take those 10 coins, how many times are you going to have to take those 10 coins without compounding? So it's like you got to bite the bullet and you got to figure out what's best for you when it comes to actually trying to take profit.
And a caveat on that also is then you also have to ask yourself, if you woke up tomorrow and the project that you're the most invested in was gone, is that going to hurt your livelihood today, right now? Um, and that when people say risk factors, that is a big one. So if I woke up tomorrow and my biggest investment is just gone, it vanished. Is my family still going to be able to eat? Am I going to be able to afford where we live? Am I going to be able to still live my life the same way we're doing? And I think we need to look in the mirror and ask ourselves some very tough questions in those aspects. While we believe in something and it has a lot of utility and we think it's going to be around, what if the worst case scenario happens? So while we can live in euphoria and be like, okay, when this happens, I see this, and this, but we have a hard time looking at ourselves in the mirror and going the opposite direction. Like if this were to happen, or worst case scenario, it's just gone and I will never see that money again. Will I make it? So I think weighing both of those sides is very important to everybody on a personal level.
Yeah, because some people out here crying over losing $1,200. And I mean, listen, $1,200 is a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's not a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Especially compared to how expensive things are. So if losing $500 is going to be detrimental to you, losing 300 or 400 or even 100, then you got to figure out, your risk assessment. What's going to make you be upset or what's going to make you say, win some, lose some. You know. So it's really all up to you. Amelie, what's up? Your hand is up. Amelie, you're on mute if you're talking. What's up? Okay.
But while we're waiting to see if he comes on the
My bad.
mic,
My hand wasn't up though. My bad.
okay.
I must have hit that. I must have hit that by mistake.
You good, you good.
All right.
I will say that for me tonight, since we just hit a little over the 2 hour mark, if we want to start doing the wind down, I personally needed it to be a little closer to what our normal time is for personal reasons. But if any of you guys have questions, I'm still available. But I do need to start winding this down for me. We can't do a 4 hour rally tonight.
Oh no, I got to do the job that actually pays my bills. I got to go to work tomorrow. So I mean, yeah.
Most definitely. And yeah, I need to get some rest and take care of myself also. So if anybody was down there that had some questions or just wanted to comment, right now would be your time. And then if not, then we will start winding this down and give our little goodbyes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight. I appreciate all of you. I also appreciate the replays. So when you listen to it, you'll hear my voice telling you thank you. Thanks, Kim, for coming through. Thank you, Old Man with the Dog. You're always here. Thank you, Quintessential. Thank you, Double QZ, Omar Wiz. I got you, Brian. I'm going to get you. I'm just thanking all the people that actually I see every week. Thank you, Trophy, for retweeting. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jamaican XRP, Red Eyes, to Wiz, thank you. Yvonne, welcome, good to see you. Bullish Eddie S, always retweeting our space, thank you. Cap, you know I love you, thank you so much. Let's see, DeFi Junkie, hey, nice to see you again, thank you. Crypto Prince in the cut, thank you for tuning in. Brian, come on the mic, what's up? Let me hear your voice.
Hey, hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brian. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. My phone was tripping. The volume went down or something. I just wanted to ask about the polar. Well, you guys think is a cool time to get in that now? Or?
Well. I think if you've been watching it and you're doing it based on the research and you're comfortable getting into it, it may not be a bad time. If you're wanting a little bit lower price point, maybe watching to see if it retraces a little bit more. It's going to be a personal risk because, like we were just talking about earlier, it's only 3 months old. They did a really nice update, but the fact of the matter is it's still in infancy stages. And while they are really ambitious and they have a great community and a great team, I'm invested. So I try to keep myself a little out. I'm trying not to be partial one way and just say, yeah, go ahead, Brian, go do it. Hey, I want everybody to be able to do their own research. If you're confident in it and that's something that you want to get into, and you won't miss the money if you woke up tomorrow and it was gone, then I say go for it. But if you're still on the fence, then I say definitely dig into it. Go talk to She Lord, go talk to Frey, go talk to the people of the core team and get comfortable or not comfortable and decide it's not for you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious about that. What is it like now? Like 2,000 or something?
It all depends. There is 5 tiers of the NFT/notes. There is a 6th one being released, and there's lucky boxes. So there's a lot of moving parts on it, and all of them are different price points.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I've probably got to look into it a little more. I haven't really researched it in depth, but I was kind of eyeing it, you know.
But didn't you guys say that it's kind of like been like its own stable coin? So I don't know if that means Brian is going to dip or it's going to stay where it is. If that's where
Right.
you got to look at the history. I guess look at the charts because they've been saying for the longest, like Cap and Thymeless and other people have been saying like it's kind of kept its same price. It hasn't dipped so much. So
Right.
I guess entry point wise, maybe you should go check the month or the week's charts and look at where it's actually held. Then that may help you to decide,
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. All right, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
No problem. Did somebody just, oh yeah, Kim requested to come up here.
Kim, hop on the mic. What's up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I just wanted to tell you guys that this is like, for me, an awesome space. because even for a person who is dealing with crypto every fucking day, you know, I, I can learn so much from this space. And every time I have an issue, there is somebody here to help me with my issue. So if you guys don't take value out of there, you're just going to be lost in crypto. All right. But thank you so much for having a place for me to go to. And I appreciate Oculus and Thymeless with for everything. Captain, thank you. I think Captain helped me with two issues because even I think Captain, you helped me with the what was that crypto.com issue. So
Yeah,
I've been
I
Yes, you
did.
screwed
sure
a
did.
couple
Easy.
of times and you got me out of it. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for having this space. I just wanted to say that and good night to everybody.
No problem. Thank you, Kim, for tuning in, and thank you for being a stand-up person. Thank you for
Nope.
that.
No problem.
All right.
And Omar just requested to come up. What you got for us, Omar?
What's up, O?
What's up, everybody? I just wanted to say
What's going on?
what Timeless was saying about writing stuff down is super important. I just want to give you an example. This morning, I thought I found a hidden gem, and when I go check, I already had it. I got to slow down with the early dementia. The prescription.
That's it. No, that's that FOMO recipe. That ain't early just mentioned. That's Omar be all over crypto and just grabbing anything.
For real. But yeah, write it down.
No,
Write it down. Write everything down. Definitely.
yeah, you're right. I have many books where I write stuff down. I mean, I'm writing stuff down as we're talking. I'm writing stuff before we're talking. So yeah, and dating it too, because a lot of times, it just comes like looks like chicken scratch. So you want to date it, and then so you can actually remember it, because sometimes dates jog memories. So it's always good to write stuff down and date it. Just not have a notebook with a bunch of tickers in it, and you don't know what the hell they, you don't know why you wrote them down. So yeah,
Right.
definitely Omar.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. That's my takeaway. Like me and Ovi might be up here hosting, but my book is with me, and I put a tab on the back of it. And even while we're talking, and even in things that I'm saying, I take notes on me, I take notes on Ovi, and I take notes on all y'all. If you guys bring anything up, even if I say, oh, when you're explaining it, I might not like that too much, but I still have this book, and I do go back and do some due diligence, because I feel like even though that we're not telling you things to buy, we're not saying, hey, go get this much of this and all of that. I think when you guys ask us a serious question and I don't truly know, or OV doesn't truly know, that I do go back and definitely look at it, just so I can give you an educated conversation later on about the same thing. So my book is big. I like it, and I think it's important, and it helps our brains. It makes our brains keep working. When you're talking, when you're listening, and when you're writing, it connects everything, and that's science that proves that.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So if with that being said, Timeless kind of closed it up very nicely. Thank you, sis. If nobody has anything else to say or have any other things to input, we're gonna close the space. Oh, but let me just say a special hello to Miss Liz. She's been listening. She's also new in the crypto space, and she joined about I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. Millie brought her here, and I hope you're doing okay, Miss Liz. Hope you're listening and learning, and not getting too confused about everything we're talking about. So it's good to see you. I just wanted to say hello to you. Crypto Gal, what's up? I know it's early where you are. Quintessential, come on the mic.
Hello? I just want to say thank you, Oculus and Timeless. You guys have been teaching me since the first day I entered the Telegram group. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I mean, I think,
No problem.
yeah, we love doing this actually. Just actually like talking about it. And sometimes you guys ask questions or say stuff or bring up stuff that we haven't thought about. It is true. That's why I love when Old Man with the Dog says, you can teach an old dog new tricks, and we don't know everything in this space. Even if we do know a lot, we don't know everything. So I love getting on here and just hearing what you guys are going to bring up, so, and it keeps me on my toes. Cause I like when you guys ask me about something I haven't heard of it. I don't feel any kind of way, but I'm like, no, I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up. Kim has done that. Quintessential, you came in here asking about something last week that sounded like selling Avon, and I was like, what? So I mean, we're all here learning together, so it's really, really cool. But I appreciate all you guys for and ladies for tuning in to be with us. So if you guys don't mind, we're going to end the space, and we hope to see you guys next week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, everybody.
Yes, have a great evening. Thank you all for continuously supporting us and tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.